A pectoral is a flying mammal. Correct. In the Mary Poppins movies, what does she use to fly?
An umbrella.
Correct. Which word means grumpy, rowdy or surly?
Rowdy.
Incorrect. Which farm animal provides us with mutton?
Cow.
A sheep. A sheep. A sheep is the animal that provides us with mutton. The word grumpy means surly. In fact, Joseph Joba plays rugby for South Africa, and great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. And a quarter of 40 is 10. A quarter of 40 is 10. Now, lady, you get 7 correct answers. 7 correct answers. Oh my goodness, you did so well. You did so well, but I'm afraid just not enough on this day. So hard luck to you, Sejal. That was a really, really competitive round. And of course, with 8 correct answers, that means congratulations. You are our junior brain of the day. You've won 1,000 Rand. Thanks to 702 and Dischem. A winning mind in a healthy body. We'll see you on Saturday at Menlyn. The fun will start at 10 a.m. If you want to play, register on 702.co.za. And who knows, you could be this week's Dischem Junior Brain of 702. A winning mind in a healthy body.
702. The Africa Report with Crystal Odison.
The Africa Report is brought to you by SAA, the ones who fly SAA's growing route network. Guess what? They're now flying to Blantyre, Lilongwe, Vic Falls, and Windhoek. Crystal Odison, always a pleasure to chat to you and catch up with you about stories from the continent. Let's start in Burkina Faso. Thomas Sankara today receiving a hero's burial in the capital. But I wonder if it's partly to distract with so much else that's going wrong in that country at the moment.
Good morning, Bongani. I think there's a point that you're making there. So I think firstly, of course, it is honoring this liberation hero killed 36 years ago very brutally by his former comrade, Blaise Compaoré, who has been found guilty. So there will be an official burial. It's going to be all the pomp and ceremony, but the Sankara family is saying they don't think it's the right time. They also think that choosing the same site there where Sankara was killed doesn't fully honor him, and they want a different site for that reburial. The authorities are saying no, it's going to go ahead tomorrow. Now, for me, this is against the backdrop of, firstly, we saw over the weekend the African Union, Burkina Faso has still been suspended from the African Union following that military takeover last week. We also saw that there's increasing Islamist insurgency happening. There's also accusations that the Russian mercenary group, the Wagner group, is operating there. Ghana is saying that these mercenaries are coming towards the border area, and it's very concerning. Then we also still have just recently several soldiers have been killed. So major insecurity in Burkina Faso, in the country, and here we have, of course, this moment that is supposed to be solemn and recognizing the country's history, kind of falling by the wayside, Bongani.
Oh my goodness. And of course, across the border, very quickly, we have taken some decisions to fight against rhino poaching. And is Botswana bearing the consequence?
They are, Bongani. So we see that the tourism minister coming out and saying that the country's really suffered immense kind of rhino poaching. They're looking at more than 100 or close to 140 that's been slaughtered over the past 5 years. And the irony is that the preceding years, Bongani, there were only 2 rhinos that were poached. And again, the government really worried about the spike. They say that, it's really, they see that because of South Africa's tightening, we see, rhino poachers being sentenced, massive, huge sentences, and they're saying it's now the displacement of those criminal networks from countries like South Africa now moving to Botswana. So quite worrying, and the tourism ministry and the government saying, look, they're going to start a major dehorning program.
All right, Crystal Alderson with this morning's Africa Report.
The ones who know fly SAA's growing route network. They choose SAA to Cape Town.
Helmet Road 5-2 at Anfield.
A cloudy day in store for Gauteng today, otherwise partly cloudy. Johannesburg starting at a low of 13 degrees, peaking at 26. Pretoria 15 and 28, Vereeniging 12 and 27. The top story in Eyewitness News this hour. Health NECs say they're running out of funds to buy diesel for generators as longer bouts of load shedding mean the backup power supply is used as the primary electricity source.
Eyewitness News. In touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za.
Why does My Way Business Insurance give businesses more? Because the more we can help you keep your business running smoothly, the better. We offer van and truck insurance, which gives truck owners towing and recovery services, emergency repairs, and cover against loss of fuel. Just one way we do more to help protect the business you worked so hard to build. So visit myway.co.za today to find out way more. My Way is a licensed non-life insurance industry. T's and C's apply.
An existential power crisis. A new electricity minister. Will households and businesses benefit from tax incentives? Find out in the 2023 National Budget Speech on 702. Let's walk the talk.
Current events, developing stories, tough questions, your voice, making a difference.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bengwa
On 702.
10 minutes after 7 o'clock, this is likely to be a very, very consequential budget speech from the Finance Minister, Enoch Godongwana. The Business Day today reporting the Reserve Bank has contingency measures to deal with not if the grid collapses, but what will happen when it does. And they do this through the Financial Sector Contingency Forum, the FSCF. This is a unit that was instituted when Tito Mboweni was still governor of the Reserve Bank. And of course, they plan for all sorts of possibilities, including terror attacks, disruptive cyber attacks, pandemics such as we saw under COVID-19, any interruptions of physical infrastructure, whether it's water, telecommunications, electricity. The cause, a collapse of the grid, would be one of those. The Sowetan this morning running with a story about the Graskop Gorge. I don't know if you've been in Mpumalanga, right? This Graskop Gorge, which is a popular tourist site in Mpumalanga, and it basically has this bridge, if you will, and you get taken up the bridge and you're able to see over this beautiful gorge in Mpumalanga, but it needs electricity to operate. The generator that they bought is just too costly to run, and it keeps breaking down. It cost them 380,000 rand to get it going, and the owner, one Opa Pilane, well, he's a co-owner, but he says essentially, look, we're just a small operation. We can't keep this up. It takes visitors 51 meters down the face of a gorge, and they've got an indigenous forest there, and it's an amazing, amazing sight. Anybody who's been to the Graskop Gorge, why don't you give us a call and let us know about what your experience was, and maybe my description of it is not that great, but give us a sense of the grandeur of what you see. And what you just heard now in Eyewitness News, just think about it, right? If you need an op, you need to get an x-ray, right? Some kind of scan. Maybe your wife, your partner has a cesarean section scheduled. Our public hospitals might not be able to help you because they're running out of money to buy diesel for backup power. No further amounts have been allocated to deal with the blackouts. This isn't just about pretty gorges that you can no longer see. There are people who are going to die. There are people who are going to die.
You with 702. Breakfast with Bongani Bengwa.
live,
Online,
smartphones, DSTV channel 856
92.7.
and 106 FM.
Important speech then by the Finance Minister. Up next, we're going to hear from business, we're going to hear from Labour and the opposition about what to expect and what some of the key priority areas are going to be. And keep an eye on the
usebenza kuphi today?
Ngizoya eBinoni bese ngiyabuya ngiyethwathwa
uye ngizocheka la hey yazi
Mningi umsebenzi.
ungubandi lo ngubandi
Yeah.
ukuthi nangabe mhlawumbe ngisengisigijimisa eBrook Brain namanzi but lelo umncanyana
Okay.
yeah alright
Ah, great. Sharp. Sure.
Particularly, of course, in the context of load shedding here in South Africa. Think about that, right? A 4-day week, would that alleviate some of the problems and challenges we face? Remember, Johan van der Walt, the CFO of SA Tourism, was associated with that entity that was going to benefit from that.